And we're back with another episode of the On The Bench podcast, the UK's #1 football podcast. And on the bench today, if I look to my left, I see a gunner sign. It's the boy Marty, Mr. AFTV. He's in the building and he's here to wind up Frank. Getting on to him off camera. It's a shame Rue didn't catch it. Rue.
It was good.
Rue, guys.
It was right. It all started with me expecting when Frank turned up in his Manchester United number. I thought he was going to be wearing another silky little number. Silky smooth number, as as Frankie likes to do nowadays when Frankie goes to Hollywood and all that.
So he goes out of a combo for a silk suit.
He's got silk bed sheets with his silk pajamas, silk pillowcases,
right. Underwear,
silk bed sheets,
silk flannel, the lot, everything, silk slippers, everything.
Silk pajamas.
Word has it, even his seats in his car are silk.
Not that thing out there, trust me.
Oh, mate. It's good to be here anyway, mate.
How you doing,
Thanks for having us. So sweet, mate. You're
no.
not doing too bad, are you? Just got back from Dubai. Rubbing shoulders with the elite.
Yeah, it was crazy. Crazy experience, man. Big up everybody
How'd you
in Dubai, man, that I've done contact with. Big thank you to Simon and his team, man. The whole team, the Help Bank team, Katie, Dudley, everybody that's out there. Big shout out to Rio as well. Big up to everybody, man. Thank you to Rio's team as well for making everything happen. And big up the 1 Billion Summit, man. Brilliant event. The event was so sick, man. And Dubai is just such a beautiful place as well. It's out of this world, man. Need to get out of there. Back in the UK, it's just like, oh.
That's why everyone's leaving, right?
Yeah, that's why everyone's getting out of there.
The weather must have hit you like a ton of bricks, innit? When you landed.
Kind of, yeah. Like your silk sheets hit you.
Frank ain't worried about that. At 6:36 in the morning, where he's in his silk.
It's hard to get out of bed in the morning, man. I'm not gonna lie.
He slides out.
Alright, come on, do the intros, move it on. Come on.
He literally slides out, man. Yeah, sorry. You gotta start me off. You know I love jokes. Anyway, in the corner, AKA
the Silk Man.
Sylvester Stallone.
Sylvester Stallone.
Oh my gosh, this is gonna be a long podcast, man.
Silkosaurus Rex. Bombocard.
Sorry, man, Frank.
He's messed up the ball.
Oh, it's alright, man. Yeah. It's okay. Sorry, I'm in tears. Sylvester Stallone, that's a good one. Alright, anyway, back to business. The Man United man, a.k.a. Mr. Roy Keane. How you doing, Frank?
Not too bad, mate. been better, but I'm not too bad. But been worse.
M&S didn't have any silk pajamas in stock today.
But before we get into the silky stuff, we're going to talk about Alonso sacked.
Yeah.
And I was saying to you, would you take out Man United? And you were saying...
Xabi Alonso?
Yeah.
I think he's got too many ties with Liverpool to come to Man United. I think United would be interested in him, to be fair, because of the hierarchy that we've got.
Yeah.
But I don't think it will be much of a conversation. That's my opinion. I could be very wrong. But and he's another three at the back manager as well. So I don't know if he's the right manager for Man United, but I just think that he, with his ties with Liverpool, won a Champions League with Liverpool. You could say he's considered a legend there as well. I just don't. Liverpool's another massive club, so I don't think he'd put that to. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Oh, that's a good shout. Maybe Liverpool lining slot.
Yeah.
They're lining them up in it.
That makes more sense.
Because you lot took the step. Amarim's out the door. Maresca, obviously, we don't know the behind the scenes, but he's gone. Liverpool's most looking at stuff like.
You've got to be happy with Amarim out the door, though, haven't you?
No, I'm not.
Terrible manager.
No, I'm not. He's not.
No, he was so, wasn't he?
No, but you were saying before that. You were saying you rate. You would.
Like
you
Amarim.
said sorry,
What?
but you said you would.
I like Amarim.
You said you would take Amarim over Arteta.
Yeah, I did say that. I did say that. I just don't like Mikel Arteta. I don't like his football. I don't like his personality. I don't like his interviews. I don't like how he speaks. I don't like him on the touchline. I don't like Mikel Arteta.
But why? I think you have a thing with Arsenal because
Yeah, of course I have a thing about Arsenal.
No, but you know what? Is a lot of
I do.
managers do the same things he does.
No.
Even, for example, even the Martinelli thing when he's push him off when he's
Disgraceful.
Why is it disgraceful?
Disgraceful.
Everybody does that. Every player does that when they want to win a game. If somebody's on the pitch, they push the player to get off the pitch.
What do you think of Mark?
Second half was all Liverpool, by the way. Second half was all Liverpool in that game. Now you want to win the game. When the player's down injured, now you want to win the game.
We wanted to win the game.
All of a sudden, now you want to win the game.
Come on, man.
Second half was all Liverpool. No bite, no fight. Until it was the Emirates. I've never heard
No,
Emirates
you're
so
skipping
quiet
over
all
it, but
season.
every player does that, though. If a
Oh,
player's
Not
down
every player,
injured,
not
you
every
know
player.
what?
But
Most people.
Let me tell you what was a disgrace. When you, as a professional footballer, when you see a player go down by himself, not by anyone tackling him, if you've gone in on him and you know you've got the ball and he's going down like that, then fair enough, you know he's not injured. But when you see a player go down by himself, screaming, writhing in pain as he was, you know he's injured. And by the way, for people saying he was rolling back on the pitch, Connor Bradley never fully left the pitch. A part of him was always on the pitch. So he's trying to. So when he's in pain, he's writhing around. I don't even know if he knows where he is. That's how bad it is. And then obviously Martinelli's gone over and he's thrown a ball at him, then he shoved him. So for me, look, I've told you before, when I look at incidents, I always think, how would I feel if that was my player? And I'm not a Man United fan. I'm not a Liverpool fan. I couldn't care about Liverpool. But when I saw that, it triggered me because I was fuming because I was like, if that was one of my boys,
more though, the ball throwing or him pushing him off the pitch?
him pushing him off the pitch. The
That's
ball,
normal,
to be
though.
honest,
That's my
I
point.
didn't
That's
even
a
see the
normal-
ball throwing initially. I saw it afterwards, and that annoyed me even
That's
more.
a normal thing to do, though.
Can I just go right? So there's quite a few things that trigger you, isn't there, Frank?
Not really.
But no. Right. So I watched that right in front of me, yeah, and I'm going to give you an honest opinion of what happened. Actually,
As an Arsenal fan, yeah.
No. Live.
Yeah.
Actually,
Oh, you
live
was
in
right.
front
Yeah,
of me.
you was-
Obviously,
you was
I'm
at
an
the
Arsenal fan, but I'm going to tell you the actual truth and the context and how it's, one thing I will say first of all is big respect to Arnie Slot. He described the incident perfectly, and if you heard his interview, big respect to him because it would have been very easy for him to come out and throw petrol on the fire and to make it worse. But he actually explained the complete truth of the situation. Now, the truth of the situation. One, you said the Emirates was the quietest you've heard it all season. Do you know why that was?
Why?
Do you know why? Because if you sat in the lower tier, you were soaking wet and it was freezing cold. And I was there. And listen, no. I'm not one. I've worked outside all my life, in the freezing cold and the soaking wet, yeah. I'm used to it. But I'll tell you what, that night, watching a game of football that wasn't the best game of football, and the rain was driving. It's not just raining. The rain was driving onto you. You're soaking wet. And listen, there's one thing being wet when it's 10, 15 degrees. It was 0 degrees, right? It was freezing. It's when you're wet. There's one thing being wet, but when you're freezing cold and wet, it's horrible. So that might have explained a slight reduction in the noise. But
So it had
actually,
nothing to do with Liverpool dominating possession.
No. But one thing I will tell you, actually, the atmosphere there was actually very good
At the start.
at the start and all the way
at the
through the
start,
game.
yeah,
No. And at the end,
I was there.
the atmosphere. Listen. The atmosphere.
It was good.
I was
Listen,
there.
I've been to your stadium a couple of times.
No.
was
We're
rocking
not
in
We're not talking about the stadium passer. The stadium there that night.
At the
it was
start,
rocking.
yeah, because you lot thought you were going to
it
slap
was
them
rocking,
3-4-1.
it was rocking. I was there, I
Yes,
was in there,
at
it
the
was
start,
there.
I understand. The first half.
at the start,
and
second
the
half, it
first
was-
half an
it was
hour or
atmosphere.
so, it was all Arsenal.
So-
You lot were all over them. They were just defending.
Okay, so
But then-
let me finish. Let me finish,
Yeah,
right?
go on.
So I saw that instant right on row 4, the dugouts there. The instant was right in front of me, literally. Right, so what happens is they both go up for a ball. Connor Bradley lands. You didn't hear nothing. There was no yelp. There was no scream as you described or the media described. There was none of that. Okay. And as I watched it, and this is the God's honest truth, I looked at him, and I've seen this. I've seen this for the last few seasons, especially late on the games. Players goes down injured, and they want to waste time. Why?
Your players do
No,
that.
wait.
Your
Why?
players do
Because
that. Your players do
Okay.
that. No, not as much as your players. Not
some
David.
rubbish.
Wait, hold on. Last season, you drew 2-2 at Anfield. Why did that happen? Why did that happen?
tell me.
I'll tell you why it happened. Because you lot are 2-0 up.
Yeah.
Cruising, and then all of a sudden Liverpool got on a counter attack, fluffed their chance, goal kick, and then
So-
when they got the crowd up, David Raya started slowing the game down, and then he went down injured, faking injury. Liverpool fans got up, and then Liverpool came back. And
Okay. That you're talking about a different
Most players
stadium.
do that, though.
No. What I'm
no.
saying is, you're saying all teams do that. No, you do that.
No,
there's
no,
that
listen,
clip as well
listen.
of Arteta. No.
I'm
Other
talking to you,
Yeah,
Frank.
but you do
about
it
the
so much
Emirates.
more than anyone else.
Yeah,
much more.
That's fine. But what I'm saying to you, the point I was making, right, is at the Emirates, late on in the game, this season, any team coming to the Emirates, 0-0 is a very good point.
Yeah, I agree.
Because when people come to the Emirates this season, they're getting battered. It's as simple as that. But they escaped, right? Liverpool skate without conceding a goal, and they got a point out of us, which is a good result. The only other side to do that is Manchester City, and they got a point there, and they got undone at the end. So all of that talk of this, that, and the other, and I have seen. This is what happens at our stadium late on in the day. Goalkeepers slow it down. Players go down injured. I have seen that this season, and us trying to push on and win games. So that Connor Bradley situation as well. Martinelli didn't realise. Okay, the throwing the ball, it was so quick he didn't even see. When the media slow it down, this is how boring this game was. That was the most focal point of that game. The only thing to talk about, and they turn around and absolutely lambast Martinelli. If you watch that in real time, you would have seen the ball being bounced him didn't really mean nothing, and then he pulled him off the pitch quickly to get on with the game. I didn't.
The physios are there, bro. The physios are there. Let the physios do their job. Let the physios do.
We're trying to gain points on Manchester City right now.
We need to
win.
And furthermore, what Gary Neville said. Okay, Gary Neville didn't say they should do this and they should do that. He said, I'm surprised that none of the Liverpool players have gone into him. And he's right. Because you played football.
Yep.
Right? If that's a Sunday league game or a Saturday league, it's kicking off. If that happens, it's kicking off.
It did kick off.
Not really, man. A few
It
handbags,
wasn't a fight,
a shove here and there. No, it's kicking off.
Okay,
For the team that I played, shout out FC Syria. You know, if that's happening, it's go time.
Frank,
it's kicking
what
off.
do you think of Martinelli's hat-trick yesterday?
Beg hat-trick.
Who?
Beg hat-trick. This
Beg.
is Portsmouth.
Beg
hat-trick, yeah.
What,
One of the worst hat-tricks I've ever seen in my life.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so what do you think of Semenyo on Saturday?
Some quality.
Quality, yeah.
Quality.
Yeah.
Exeter.
Funny, yeah. So it's funny that, isn't it? And this is my exact point in the narrative, and you've just completely sunk yourself here.
That's right.
So we play. No. But then you're like, oh, bad hat trick.
Yeah.
But whereas they were three skillful goals.
Skillful goals.
Yeah.
From
Listen,
who? From Martinelli.
Yeah.
What, a header from a corner?
Yeah.
A flick on from a corner?
Yeah.
That's a skillful goal.
Yeah, of course it is.
Well, this is what Arteta's got you to believe in now, isn't it?
And then did you see the
that,
other ball?
That is the highlight of your season now.
Did you see the other
Set
game?
pieces.
Did you see the other one? Set piece. Free kick. Miles Lewis-Skelly quickly to Jesus, across to the back post.
That was a good goal. That was a good goal. No.
That was a set piece.
That was a good goal.
It's a set piece.
No. Jesus' ball was quality.
Yeah. And Martinelli snapping at the back post. Great position.
It was good to be there, but it was still a big hat-trick for me. One of the worst hat-tricks I've ever seen.
But you
but
just
fair play, you got his hat-trick.
Yeah, but you just said that. Okay, but Semenyo was quality. Semenyo scored one goal.
No.
Semenyo scored one goal against a team that are 14th in League One. Yeah. But Martinelli does it against Portsmouth.
But we know Semenyo's levels above Martinelli. We know his levels above Martinelli. We know that.
What? Because he scored one goal against Exeter.
Why is he levels?
You don't even like Martinelli. How are you jumping on a bandwagon?
Where's his hat-trick? Where's his hat-trick?
One second. First of all,
where's his hat-trick?
He's not. Right, hold on. First of all, he's both-footed. Secondly, he's physically stronger. Thirdly, he's probably quicker as well. He's better in the air. He's a better footballer all around.
He's had one good season, though.
No, he's not had one good season.
It's like in Bummel had when Bummel's had.
And how many good seasons Martinelli had?
He's had
decent seasons.
He's had one outstanding season.
Outstanding, Jesus Christ! What was his stats? Show me his stats. What did he do? What? Because he scored a goal against Chelsea when one of the players slipped.
No,
and
he had.
What
was it? 2020.
So you're seriously comparing Martinelli to Semenyo? They're not on the same level, bro. They're not on the. It's not even close.
Semenyo has had that many good seasons. He's had one good season.
I don't care how many good seasons. It's
you
clear to see.
You can't say someone's good
but
on one season.
Martinelli's not had a better season.
But he's had a good season.
You're
Martinelli.
You're not on a wind up.
No, because you're saying Semenyo's way better, but he's had one good season.
Of course he is. He's level. This is like when you when Marco was on his podcast, you lot telling me Odegaard's the same level as Bruno. Get out of here.
Who said that?
What?
You both said that.
I didn't say that.
Odegaard's much better than Bruno.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
No, just quickly, can I just finish this off? So why is Martinelli's hat-trick and his 3 goals against Portsmouth? Oh, it's only Portsmouth. But then whereas Semenyo has a goal and assist against Exeter, League One Exeter.
Yeah.
And he's like you said, he was amazing.
Who's been better in the league this season? Why did Semenyo just go for 65 million?
Who's been better?
Between Martinelli and Semenyo.
Well,
that's this season.
In the Premier League, who's been better? Come on.
That's this season.
That's what we're going by.
Semenyo has been better. Semenyo has been better, yeah.
It's not even close. It's not even close. If you've got a choice, if you had a choice to have Semenyo or Martinelli in your team, who are you going to pick?
Well, yesterday I would have picked Martinelli.
Be honest. Okay, be honest. Be honest.
What, right now?
No. Just tell me the truth, man. I know you don't like Martinelli, so just tell me the truth.
That's a strong word to say. I don't like him. I said I don't think he's good enough.
That's what I'm saying. For your team. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
He's not to the level that you expect. Yeah.
But I haven't seen enough of Semenyo to say. You haven't though. You can't go off one good season, man.
Semenyo's been doing it for a couple of years. You know players that come from the Championship. Don't underrate them. because a lot of good players have come from the Championship. And
But
to make that
Championship's
step
different
up,
to the
to make that
Prem.
transition.
Yeah, look at Jamie
smoothly,
Vardy. I mean,
exactly. Jamie Vardy, you've had even Mikel Antonio is West Ham's top goal scorer of all time. Jack Grealish came from the Championship. Adam Wharton's come from the Championship. He's a £100 million player.
Gyökeres has come from the Championship.
yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's another conversation for another day. But I'm saying don't discount players that come from the Championship but smoothly transition, because that's what Semenyo's done. And Chelsea were looking at him.
Bournemouth.
Yeah, but he was at Bristol City before, and Chelsea were
No,
looking at him when
but
he was at
he's-
Bristol
no,
City.
but
Chelsea were going to buy him, but they wanted Chelsea.
Yeah, there was a
it was
disagreement
2
with the
million,
fee.
But let's see what he does at City.
Yeah, we will see what he does.
He's
at
like at
City.
Eze at Arsenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you could be right. Yeah, you could be right.
And
You
it's
could
just,
be right.
I always, you know us already.
Yeah,
Players
yeah,
step up
and you're
this
right.
level
Yeah,
and they
yeah,
don't-
you're right.
They're good at that
But
team.
for me, Semenyo's Premier League, man. He's already Premier League. He's got. I think the difference of Eze is obviously the system's going to be changing. Maybe you could say the same at Semenyo at Man City. But Semenyo, we know what you're good at, bro. We know what you're gonna do.
What's that?
We know what you're gonna do. You're gonna be able to beat a man. What's it called? You're both footed. Whenever there's a chance to shoot, you're letting off a shot. Both footed, and that guy's, if he hits a target, he's probably gonna score. That's the truth. Do you know what I mean? Like if he's good in the air. That's why they were looking at him potentially as a wing back for Man United when we wanted him. But obviously they were going to change the system to get him in. So because he's good in the air as well, he's physical, and Antoine Semenyo could potentially be a game changer for Man City.
Do you know? I'll tell you how good he is as well. And obviously, he's an Arsenal fan. And as an
Yeah, he's an
Arsenal
Arsenal fan.
fan,
Yeah, he is.
when his work was not quite done against Tottenham, he thought, "Do you know what? I'm going to have to sign off with a goal in the bottom of the corner, bottom
Quality.
corner."
Quality goal.
Smashes it home
Yeah.
against Tottenham.
And look, I rate Semenyo very, very highly. I rate him very, very highly. I've watched him a lot for the last year and a half. Bournemouth, you know how much I was raving about them last season as well. They were quality. Even the season before, they were good. But last season, I thought they just went to another level. This season, they've lost some big players in the summer. And they're still, well, obviously, they've been struggling recently, but they have still been competing. No team is going to have an easy game against Bournemouth. No team.
Can we have a quick talk about Benjamin Sesko?
What about him? What do you want to say about him?
2 goals.
Oh, do you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I thought he looked really good against Burnley. As soon as Fletcher, no, I'm being honest with you. I'm not even winding you up. I'm being.
He's on a wind up. Yeah. He's
No, I'm being serious.
He really good
Do you
against
know what?
Burnley.
Two quality finishes.
And yesterday against Brighton, he looked decent as well. He looked.
He's a ball black control.
No, do you know what? He's a certain style of striker, as in you need to put the ball sort of in front of him or put it through to him or in the air.
He makes the runs.
He makes the run, and then you put the ball, and then he'll stroke it home or hit it home. And he looked. I'm going to be honest with you. I know it's Burnley and Brighton. I think he looked. That's the best I've seen him in those 2 games.
Listen, I look. You can see why Arteta wanted him.
Yeah.
You can see why he was his number one choice.
Do you know what? I'll say it. No, listen. I know it's only a couple of performances, but like what we're seeing with Gyökeres with Arsenal, it's they're not passing to him. You see, with Kai Havertz come onto the pitch against Bournemouth, within 15 minutes, the amount of link-up play that he had with Odegaard. I think Odegaard, the amount of times he passed to him, and that ball he put through for Madueke was absolutely phenomenal. Literally lays it on a plate, perfectly weighted, slips it through. He just looked like ready in the right places at the right time.
They're in training with Gyökeres, so they must think he must lose the ball a lot and they say, I ain't giving it to you. Bro.
Yeah, it must be something in it.
They do it with Jesus as well. As soon as Jesus comes on, they pass it to him straight away. And we're thinking, why did
why they're not passing to
I
him?
always say, ballers know ballers.
Ballers
know ballers. Even when you were growing up, when you were playing football, you'd always give it to the ballers and they give it back to you. You're going to miss out this guy and this guy in 5-a-side, in 7-a-side, in 11-a-side. You're like, don't give it to him because he's going to lose it. Ballers know ballers, man.
Yeah. Gyökeres does lose the ball a lot.
Yeah, I know he does. I know. Listen, the ball comes to him. It's like with Jesus, you've got to think. Jesus, Havertz, and Gyökeres, you've got 3 different profiles of striker. You've got Jesus. He's that player that can bring it down from the sky, turn a player, come inside. He's silky smooth,
physical as well,
very silky, and and the way he plays, and he'll caress it into the top corner. Or he'll be in the right place. He'll beat a man. Havertz. Well, he's a handful.
Problem, yeah.
He's physical. He's durable. Apart from obviously, the injury, he's an intelligent player. He gets in and around. He'll link up play with fantastic passes, but he's just not that clinical. Gyökeres is a battering ram, and obviously, he'll literally run through a brick wall. But you need to put the ball in through for him to run onto to finish, or straight in front of him.
I'm going to ask you a question, Mike. What do you want to do with Gyökeres?
don't know,
What's
mate.
your thoughts?
I don't know. What do we want to do?
Yeah.
I'll send him round. I'll send him round Frank's house to get a pair of silk
It needs to get a bit
pyjamas.
silky.
It needs to get silky.
needs some silk.
Frank's the man.
Arteta.
Gyökeres.
Come over, Vic.
Arteta.
I'll show you a thing
Yeah.
or two, mate. Don't worry about it. I'll look
You
after
need
you.
some silk on it.
Come spend some time with the silk
He needs
man.
some silky boots.
silk vest to Stallone. Yeah, man. So it's what do we do? I think that's it. He's done him. He's done it.
He's gone. He's jet lagged. He's smashed.
Yeah.
I've literally jumped off an aeroplane and come straight to the studio.
Yeah.
Look at my eyes. I haven't even slept in 4 days. I'm on like 10 hours sleep for 4 days. I'm shattered.
It's them tired jokes,
Oh
man.
yeah. Just don't mind me today, man. Sorry, guys. Man.
But yeah, so what would I do with it? Listen, this is interesting. Obviously, you need to play him out for the season.
Yeah,
I think he's going to start him against Chelsea. This is probably going out once the Chelsea game is finished, right? So we'll know the result of that. So
Just before, I think.
okay, okay. Well, if this is going out just before,
7 o'clock,
or you're watching it just after it, we'll know. Now, listen, if Gyökeres has a bit of a stinker against Chelsea, the problems are going to start. They're stacking up for him, and there's a lot of scrutiny on him. Havertz is coming back to fitness. Jesus, I think you need another month or so, and he'll be near on sort of full fitness. But you certainly listen. The amount of games we've got every week, we've got 2 games. You have got to mind this. What you don't want is either one of those players out for the rest of the season. But Gyökeres is going to get game time. I think you can only truly assess him at the end of the season. Also, ultimately, if Gyökeres, and I'll say this, if we win the Premier League and Gyökeres doesn't score another goal between now and then, I could not really care less. Yes, we might have to change him for someone else, but the ultimate point is I couldn't really care less. If we go and win some serious silverware, that's what I want as an Arsenal fan this season. I want to win the Premier League. I want to win the Champions League, and this Carabao Cup situation as well. This is an ideal opportunity to just get.
I think if we get it over the line as well, get the boys going to wanna.
And how good it'll be for the fan base as well. Give the fan base the amount of Arsenal fans that I speak to, and they haven't even actually seen. They were speaking to someone the other day. They hadn't actually seen Arsenal. They don't been supporting Arsenal about 4 years, and it's actually seen Arsenal win the trophy. But then there's an amount of young fans that have never. It's not one of your ones, Frank. We know what you're like, man. But anyway, this podcast is kind of an naughty turn, isn't it?
I've got a question for you, like, actually, genuine question. So, in terms of Victor Gyökeres, do you remember when I said to you, you're better off not buying Madueke or Eze, not buying Gyökeres, and just going all out for Osimhen? Would you? I know it's hindsight now, but do you think that would have been? Because I think that would have been a possibility.
I think we should have bought. Personally, I think we should have bought Eze, Madueke, and Osimhen. Osimhen's not going all out. It's only
no. But his wages are high. His wages are like 350k a week.
Yeah, we could have got that down to 250k.
No chance. Because even when Chelsea wanted him 2 or 3 years ago.
No disrespect to Chelsea, man. Listen, they're in a bit of a mess at the minute. Like,
no, but that was a couple of years ago. When they had a new
right here, right now, I don't think there's a player in world football that wouldn't really want to go to Arsenal if they came calling.
I would have took Osimhen and Madueke and left Eze.
But you wanted Eze at the time, so that's
but I'm saying we could have got through without Eze. Still, we didn't. We've got cover. We need a cover for Saka.
But Eze has played an important part in this season.
He's a baller. I'm saying out of that, like those 3 players.
I still like Eze.
I'm not disregarding. I'm not disregarding
Eze.
Eze.
Silk no silk.
I'm not disregarding Eze at all. I'm saying out of those 3, I would have took Eze and Osimhen. I mean, Madueke and Osimhen.
You're saying now the thing with Madueke, listen, he was fantastic. There were some bits of play that I saw in the Portsmouth game. He was absolutely fantastic. You know, driving at players, taking it past players. Footwork was phenomenal. But then, good diving. And I like that. But then, I when that penalty. It's just like you could see why Nicholas Jackson. Remember that time when him and Nicholas Jackson were fighting.
Cole Palmer ended up taking
like you said in training. You said about training. Like obviously they see things in training. The way he took that, them run ups, just run up to the ball and stroke it in the back of the net, and just get it dealt with. And then that was frustrating. And obviously I think in a game with a lot more at stake, then that is a problem. You need his end product, some of his shooting, his finishing. He does some amazing. Gave the ball away early. The first goal, what led to that, he gives the ball away stupidly, puts us under immense pressure. Bang, they go through. and they score, and that was in
Eze
within
gives
2
the ball
minutes.
away a lot as well.
Yeah, I've got one more question for you, actually, Marty.
Go on.
Last season, I said that Arsenal should go for...
Sorry, can I just interrupt you quick? There was another question that you said you wanted to ask me earlier. Is that a different question?
Yeah, that's a different question.
Cool. Do you remember that? Can you ask me that?
No,
Right, brilliant.
I
Can we do that one after
No,
this?
because I want to ask you both that question.
Right, go on.
My first question
Go on.
is, genuine question. I said to yourself, and with shout out Rick as well, Rick was on a pod as well, I said to you guys, I think Arsenal should go for Mateta this summer, or last summer. And obviously went for Gyökeres instead. And look, we can't really argue because Gyökeres is putting up ridiculous numbers. Okay, it was a Portuguese league and everything, but everyone wanted to do it. Everyone was looking at Gyökeres. You know what I mean?
Numbers.
But I mean, do you think Mateta would have been a better signing?
Listen, I like Mateta. I really do. I rate Mateta. I think he's a good striker. He does waste some chances. All strikers do. I like him. He's a good profile for a striker. He's big. He's a
great focal
handful.
point. I think he's a great focal point,
He is a striker that can hold the ball up.
Yeah.
Like, whereas Gyökeres, the problem we have with him, a lot of times the balls get played into him, and he gets like wrestled off the ball. It's like, mate, you're supposed to be like
Strong.
tough,
meant to be
a
bullying
beast,
defenders,
and he's getting wrestled off the ball, and also he's controlled. Man, you just sort of miscontrols the ball, and he can't turn a defender. And really, what you want to see him is like the amount of times you see it in the Portuguese league, him running at players and just blitzing them and rifling it in the bottom corner. I don't think his finishing's in question. That's the annoying thing. If you could put Gyökeres' finishing, like you could have like him and Havertz could have some sort of baby or something. Do you know what I mean? And then they could have Gyökeres' finishing onto Havertz. That's it. His finishing. If you improve Havertz' finishing, he would be one of the most complete strikers on this planet.
If Martin had bollocks, you'd be my uncle, innit?
Who?
If my auntie had bollocks, you'd be my uncle.
Yeah, what, you saying I've done your auntie? Oh, yeah.
But I know.
Just keep that down,
We
Frank.
couldn't sign a player like Mateta at that precise moment,
Why
a
not?
striker, because the fans would have went mad. For instance, if we bought in Mateta and he's doing a Gyökeres now,
This is exactly
uproar
why.
would have been
But
crazy.
this is exactly why sometimes
A bit like
people
sorry,
need
a bit like the Madueke situation. You mean when the
yes,
fans first, yeah.
and this is why sometimes the fans need to let things play out instead of jumping all over players, jumping all over the club, and making it so that they haven't got the freedom to. Listen, the fans pay for the tickets, the fans pay for the merchandise, and the fans essentially run the club. Without the fans, you can't have the club.
Of course,
But also the club, these people are qualified to do what they need to do. Do I like seeing what I see at Arsenal Football Club this season? 100%. I've liked it for seasons. And you know, people say, oh, trust the processes. The one thing that I find really funny is there's a lot of people that begin to say, oh, sack Arteta, I've had enough of him, he's got to go.
Idiots.
That's it, I've had enough.
Idiots.
Now, I was like, well, hang on, you're the people. If I'm honest with you, some of the people that kind of said that sort of stuff, you do kind of think at the end of the season, you kind of like,
don't come to no celebration.
how can you kind of celebrate? Because
I agree with you guys.
If
Yeah,
you're
I fully agree.
fundamentally and and categorically saying this guy will not win anything, he cannot get it over the line.
You better
He's
stay
got
at home.
to go, right? Then when you do, what are you going to do? You're going to apologise.
Yeah.
If you do, then fair play.
Yeah.
But I think if you're going to give it that much beans for that, then you've got to even the scores up, and you've got to give it that much for that. There's got to be an equilibrium.
No, listen, I'm a neutral, and obviously I've told you guys know I'm not a fan of Arteta, this and that, but what he's done at Arsenal Football Club over the last 5 years is fantastic.
It's out of this world.
It is, because City and Liverpool look miles ahead. They look miles ahead. Okay, even at one point you could say Chelsea were probably would have been the next in line. You know what I mean? If you were to think about who else can compete, maybe Aston Villa under Emery, a couple of years ago, whatever. But say that again.
Don't know about that, mate.
Yeah, okay. No, but I'm just trying to explain. There's certain clubs.
Emery board, mate. You might file your nails with him.
No, but hold on. You go back a few years ago, where you guys were. You were the banter club, man. Everyone, you were.
And now we're not. Now
but
we're
you're
not.
not because
Was that you lot?
yeah, of course it's us.
Now,
It was like
it
you
has
lot
to be
back
us.
then,
Yeah, of course it's us.
we back then were it was like roles reversed. How things change.
no,
Things
it
change
is,
quickly
it
in
is.
football.
It has to be us because we're for me the biggest club, not just in England but in the world, or arguably the biggest club in the world. But you're competing, you're acting like you're a little, do you know what I mean, relegation battling club. Well, of course we're the banner club, 100%. And we're getting.
Do you reckon you'll get relegated this season?
No, come on, Martin, come on, calma, tranquilo. But yeah, no, sorry. One more question I wanted to ask you guys.
It's
both.
not,
Yes,
it's not AFTV,
I
bruv.
know, but
This is on the bench podcast.
Because
not
I've been
Arsenal.
thinking this. Right, we're in January now, mid-January.
Yes.
You're still in 4 trophies.
Yes.
What would be Great season now. I mean, I know what you're going to
Quad.
say, but what would be a great season? Okay, right.
Say that again. What's the question?
What would
Sorry.
be, okay, you're in 4 trophies, 4 competitions: Champions League, Premier League, League Cup, FA Cup. What would be a great season?
Yeah.
What would be an excellent season? Or what would be a good season, and what would be a bad season now?
Okay,
Consider where you
so
are.
so the quad is an what's it? The first one was it great season? Did you say?
Yeah.
The treble would
good
be
season.
an excellent season. A good season would be a double.
A good season would be a double. So
good
so if
seasons.
you were to only right. So what would constitute? Let's say what would constitute a bad season? Not You're going to win a trophy, in
No
my opinion, this
trophies.
season.
Carabao Cup.
I think you would be a winner. So
No.
If you
no
if you-
trophies is a bad season.
If you weren't to win the Premier League,
Yeah.
and you
Carabao
weren't
Cup's
to
bad.
win the Champions League, but you won the 2 domestic trophies,
That's
how
good
would
season.
you feel?
That's a good season.
Would you be happy with that?
100%.
What, you'd be having an FA Cup and a Carabao
The,
Cup?
so
the
you lost the
domestic
league.
league and cup double.
So-
you know.
No. You don't win a league.
No, the domestic league and league cup.
Yeah.
double.
League Cup and so League Cup and FA Cup.
So
you
the
win that.
Carabao Cup and FA Cup, you'd be happy
Yeah.
with that?
Yeah, of
I'm happy
course.
with that.
What, mate?
I'm happy with that.
Mate, do you know we were the first team? We were the first team to do that in '93.
I'm
when we
happy
done
with
that. That's a good stat to have.
I'm
I
not
like
happy
that.
with that.
League cup double, mate.
That's not
So,
good enough.
so let's say you finish second to City.
What, now we're 6 points clear and then we only win the Carabao Cup and FA Cup?
Yeah, but let's
I'll
say.
be happy, but I'll be.
But would you
pissed.
feel disappointed?
100%.
No. Are you gonna listen? If we don't win the Premier
100%.
League this season, there's gonna be a level of disappointment, and people are genuinely
meltdown,
going to
isn't
lose
it?
their
Yeah,
minds
it's gonna
just
be a
because
meltdown.
they're not going to be able to handle the second again. But let me put this to you, okay?
They're going to want Arteta out.
No, yeah, but
Some-
then
some-
these
some will,
same
yeah,
people,
some
like
will,
I said,
yeah,
these
yeah.
same people are quiet now. I know a lot of Arteta outers that have like, really gone in on this guy, like hammered him, and now they're saying completely different things, man. The narrative's changed, and I'm like, if you can be that strong on it, like you know, it's like I hate this guy. He's not the guy, and you're that strong. But then now to not be that strong, be like, no, he's doing a good job. I don't see the difference personally between the last 3 seasons, or since really 4 seasons to now. For me, how I look at the whole situation, we're just progressively moving forward. There's not been any sort of we're going any jumps
Step backs, you mean?
No. Since for me
It's
personally,
been a little step back in the
opinion,
way there was a season when we were slamming teams up.
Yeah,
Like, our attack
but
was like-
for me, if I'm honest with you, definitely in the last 3 seasons, there's been progression every season, and I've seen the wheels in motion, and I've seen where this going, all leading up to the the end of this season and winning something. Yes, if we don't win anything this season, then you're going to take into bottling a 6 points lead that we've got currently now.
Semi-final of the League
Semi-final of the
Cup,
League Cup. How obviously
League, top
we
of the
would have
group,
lost that.
yeah.
Beating the best team in Europe in Bayern Munich, actually smoking them in our backyard. And then not winning that, you've beaten the best team in Europe, but then how can you not beat everyone else? And then obviously the FA Cup, we're obviously in the very early stages of that. But listen, we've got Wigan in the next round. Wigan are in problems. You know, if we can't slap them with our B team or our
Resting
second
players, yeah.
you know, our rotated squad is now they now call it. Then there's some issues, man.
Gosh, when's it time for him to go?
Who?
Arteta.
It's up to the club, isn't it? It's not.
No, for you personally.
me-
This is a personal. When would you say
If you're
it's
trophyless this
I would have
season,
had him got at the beginning of the season, mate. No, I'm joking. no, listen, no. Listen, not at all. I think if this season, let's say, okay, it's all about context, right? So let's say we lose badly to Chelsea in this Carabao Cup, yeah, or we lose to Chelsea, we go out at this stage, which you've got a Chelsea team with no Caicedo in this round who. Obviously he didn't play most of
First
the
leg,
first,
isn't
yeah.
it?
First leg, and then we've got them at our place, and you've got to fancy us at our place. And Chelsea, they've got a new manager. I get the new manager bounce. No disrespect to Liam Rossini, he's just come into the job. You know, he's got to find his feet.
small game,
You're
innit?
facing Arsenal. We should do the job. Okay, FA Cup, we get knocked out to a Wigan, and then Champions League. You know, we don't progress, and we say we get to the quarterfinals, and then we lose this lead in the Premier League, and we finish third. Then I would say we've regressed, and you've probably got to look at it. But then who do you replace him with? Because you have got the situations where you look at all these teams now, like Real Madrid have got rid of Xabi Alonso. Chelsea have just got rid of Maresca, which, if I'm honest with you, Chelsea were only a goalkeeper and a centre-back away from having a top side. And Frank, tell me I'm wrong on this.
I agree with you, man.
Right? Maresca was doing a good job. Right? And where do Chelsea realistically think they're gonna like, he's doing a good job. Where do they realistically think they're going to be? They're not set up in the back room. What they wanted, right, is getting rid of Maresca. Was when you say to Maresca, right, Maresca, play this player or do this, he'll say, no, I can't do that. This is how I'm playing. And then they might say, oh, can you do this? And you say, yeah, I can do that. He won't give you yeses for everything. He'll be like, he's rigid in his structure. He does it. He's a manager, right? But whereas when you get someone like Liam Rossini who comes in, you say, well, can you do this? He'll go, yeah. Can you do that? And they'll go, yeah. Oh, can you play this person? We need to buy this person. He'll go, yeah. You go, can you walk my dog? And he'll go, yeah. And you go, oh, can you hang my jacket up for me? Yeah. Can you? No disrespect to the guy.
I'm
not disrespect. That was banter. I'm not saying to get him to hang it up. But no, because you have got no, people take it seriously, man. Yeah. But no, on a level, it's those footballing decisions. Like they all struggle with elements of control, which that is what life is about.
I agree with you, Martin, and I think it's very clear.
I'm glad you do it last. It's taking a while, Frank, but
a few pods. No, but you know what it is, Rossini. I mean, he keeps saying, I've got a great squad, I've got a great this, and whereas Maresca wanted reinforcements. So that tells you the difference, and that's why Maresca, like we spoke to Sean about this. And he said himself, he said, look, I wouldn't be surprised. Because he walked, didn't he? He wasn't sacked.
Yeah, that's it. And the thing is, say you've got a great squad. Listen, anyone who knows anything about football, knows football, you tell me you don't need to change your goalkeeper. Yeah. He is got a mistake in him every game. And you need a Van Dijk, a Gabriel, or a Saliba, or a John Stones, or a Diaz, that caliber of or Mark Gay. Yeah. You need that. You need one of those defenders, but you need defenders. You need. There's a discipline problem at Chelsea. Let's be honest. I mean, listen, Cucurella hadn't played games. You see that game against Fulham. Was it Fulham? Yeah, comes Fulham, red card, pulls it. Yeah. What are you doing? And this, do you remember I was on here with Sean? When I was on here with Sean, and I said he's not that good a left back. All he does is wrestles people, and he was like, "No, he's a skill." And all that. And then what happens? He goes and costs his team again.
To be fair, Mark, he's
big
been
shout out to Sean as well.
Yeah, he's been a very good defender for them, Cucurella, but that was just silly. But he does get away with that a lot. He pushes the boundaries a lot, and that time he didn't get away.
Mate, listen, that's what I was talking about when I was saying that with Cucurella.
Yeah,
he's got that in him.
Yeah, he cost his team the game.
And and also he's off for straight red, 3 games.
1 game.
Oh, no, sorry.
Yeah.
One game.
Professional foul, but still.
And that was it.
Yeah, he's cost his team because that was an early sending off as well.
Listen, and also the amount of games you've got, you need your squad. You don't need players being out. And he's just come back as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. You need someone that's gonna. And listen, good luck to Liam Rossini. He's a young guy in a job. I do like to see that. Yeah. And I'm sure I'm sure he'll do.
I actually want him to do well.
Yeah.
100%.
He speaks really well. He presents himself really well.
I see his pops as well. He's
do you know what? Do you know what I like?
Normal, and
it'd be nice if someone cool just done well. Do you know
what I liked as well is after that Charlton game, they were going, oh yeah, great start, and he went, listen, let's not get carried away here. He went, there's a lot of work to do here. He went, it's a good result. He went, but there's a lot of work to do, and I like seeing that because. A lot of managers could have come out and started going, not they got slapped. They're not going to say that, but to that effect. And I thought he was humble. He held himself well. And let's see how he deals with obviously Arsenal on Wednesday night, and then obviously the return leg. They've got Premier League. It's the Premier League. The Arsenal game, they're going to get tested, and the Premier League game, that's where he's really. They've got Champions League. They're going to get tested.
I'm not sure who they're playing. To be fair, Chelsea, but there's another round of Champions. Is it another 1 or 2 rounds of Champions League games to come?
There's two rounds. We've got Inter next Wednesday, and then the following week after we've got Kairat. Yeah, Inter's away, and then we've got Kairat.
Can you get any Chelsea tickets?
Can I get Chelsea tickets?
I'm not phoning you on the day.
Is this now? Is this now?
For Wednesday. Arsenal.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, of course I can.
Away
end. I can get tickets for anything. Yeah.
How much?
We'll
talk about
you all right?
Sorry, I forgot. Edit.
So, but that this manager conveyor belt thing it's like Manchester United got the Amarin thing. They don't even know who to replace him with. Like
Carrick until the end of the season.
I know. Listen, that is a good. He knows Manchester United. Like it's a good appointment. I get it, but. Do I get it?
Do you know what the problem is, Marty?
You got lost. So he looked. 1 second, sorry, Frank. Did he lose?
Who
was Carrick managing when against Brighton?
No.
it wasn't
Fletcher was man.
Fletcher.
Fletcher
Oh,
was
so he
in the
come in-
dugout.
okay,
It's
cool.
not official yet. It's not official yet.
Oh, okay,
So
cool.
wait for it to be. It should be. Yeah, but it's
Do you know?
not-
Can I just last thing I say on this? You know your back line. Amorim so tried to ingrain that 3-4-3 system that goal you conceded against Burnley, you had a back four and your right back went wandering into the wrong system when he shouldn't have. He should have held his line. Yeah, he should have held his line. He was so used to playing as a free. It was like he just got magnetised into the old system.
Yeah,
you just
surprise.
can't. I think it's going to be hard to erase that.
Readjust.
Look,
Yeah.
the reason why I liked Amorim as a manager is because he had standards. He was trying to change things at the club.
Yeah.
You know, I think he.
Trying to get you relegated, mate.
Are we talking about football here, guys? Are we going to sit here and talk about football?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, go on.
No, he had standards, and he was trying to change things at the club, but
He didn't want to change the stadium, though, did he?
no, and no, but
Sounds like
and
a job
what
for
he
the
said,
Silk
No,
Man.
but hold on. What did he say about? He said about young players as well. And you know what it is? You see, would you remember when Jose got sacked and everyone was like, it was the right decision, etc., etc. I'll get Ollie in. When things started going wrong again, everyone went back to the Jose quotes, and it was like he was right all along. About Martial, about Luke Shaw, about this guy and that guy.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like a lot of the stuff that Amorim was saying is going to resonate in the next year or two or three.
Okay.
You're going to see clips. One of them, for example, I mean, Kobbie Mainoo. I love Kobbie Mainoo. He played really well the other night. You know what I mean? He didn't deserve to be on a losing team.
No, I don't think he did.
But you don't think he did?
No, I don't think he did.
Yeah,
I know. I thought he was good.
yeah,
I really like Kobbie Mainoo.
Yeah,
Do you know
yeah,
one of my
he's
biggest?
quality
Sorry, my biggest gripes about Amorim was why he didn't use Kobbie Mainoo.
Right.
Mental.
But Amorim was basically saying, like, what did he say about the ex-players? Because Paul Scholes and Nicky Butt have a podcast, and they turned around and said, Kobbie Mainoo, if he's not playing, he needs to leave. Amorim said, why should he leave? Why shouldn't he stay and fight? Like, a bit like Miles Lewis-Skelly, a bit like Ethan Wanieri, which we were talking about last week.
I don't want to get back into Arsenal.
Yeah, no. But what I'm saying is, his point was, he goes, he actually called it out, and I like that he called it out, because we see it a lot from young footballers nowadays. He said, young footballers think it's okay to like a tweet that's criticizing a manager, or like a post criticizing. He goes, that's entitlement. He goes, because we give them that entitlement. He goes, that needs to stop. Basically, he's trying to say we need to put an end to that, because you're young players, you're inexperienced, you need to learn, you need to develop, you need to learn your trade. So what if you're out of the team for a few months?
Know your
Right,
lane. Stay in
exactly.
your lane, mate.
Okay, so look again, and this isn't a criticism of Kobbie directly, because I love Kobbie Mainoo. He's a Man United boy, and he's he's a quality player, but Amorim saw certain qualities in Casemiro that suited his system better for that specific system, and that was it. And Bruno Fernandes is not going to get dropped. He's the captain. He's the best player on the team. Simple as that. So I understand what Ruben Amorim was trying to do. I understand what he was trying to say. And going back to you guys criticizing him as a manager, and I understand that from the outset it's easy, but how many players has Ruben Amorim been given? He got given Patrick Dorgu when he just came into the job. He didn't know anything really about, Dorgu came from Serie A as a 19, 20-year-old. He was a young player.
Mate. He had a bit of a war chest in the summer.
Right, but he had Mbumo, Sesko, and Cunha, right? Now, Mbumo's been a good signing, okay? Cunha's been good, but his stats haven't been great. He's goals and assists, but he's been good. He affects the game a lot. Sesko is going to take him time, because that number 9 position for Man United is a very, very tough position. Very tough position. You only got to look at Gyökeres at Arsenal and other players as well, right? The pressure at Man United is so high. Look at Isak at Liverpool, for example, right? But I feel like Sesko will come good. The point is, he needed midfielders. Man United have needed midfielders for a long time. Okay, he needed for his system. He needed another quality wing back at least, right? Which he's not got. So again, you look at managers like Arteta.
But you need to see progress.
Right. I understand
regardless,
that. I understand that.
Regardless of what you need, you still need to see progress.
You're
what
right.
You've got.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
no, you're right. And how many times did I say on this podcast, he needs to win games? You have to win games. Now, the reason why this whole fallout came out is because we played Newcastle. We played 4 at the back. We won the game with a young team. Newcastle are a very difficult team to play against. We beat them 1-0. We kept a clean sheet. Okay. Then the next game, he changes it against Wolves, puts 3 at the back. We draw the game. The players weren't happy. So the players spoke to Jason Wilcox. Jason Wilcox then approached Amorim and explained to him that he's not happy. The players aren't happy. And Amorim got annoyed because he's the manager. And that's why he said in his press conference, I'm the manager. You brought me here to do a job. You do your job. You get me the players. You do this. And when you argue up, you're going to lose your job.
Yeah,
So that's how it's all come about.
I understand that, but when you were just saying that, and let's go back to that. You said he plays 4 at the back against Newcastle, a good side, hard to break down. We won 1-0. I know it was a good game, and you played really well. Yeah. Then you play against Wolves, and you change it, a team that's absolutely diabolical.
Bottom of the league,
yeah. And then you revert to 3 at the back. We all know, and let's find it within ourselves. I mean, Palace do it; they play 3 at the back. But it doesn't work. The only team that's won it with playing 3 at the back was that Chelsea team under Conte. Yeah. And he made some serious mistakes, and it took them time to adjust. But it just doesn't work. And Amorim, that was a top job. I think personally he would have been a fantastic manager. He was just so stubborn in his system that didn't work. And the thing that's so annoying is you have the players there. It doesn't take...
But I don't know if we do, Mark.
Yeah, man.
We've got some very good players, and as a Man United fan, I can tell you that. But we've also got some players who really, really don't deserve to be at Man United, man. And look, you guys have been there. You know this. You were saying for a long time, not good enough for Arsenal, not good enough for Arsenal, not good enough for Arsenal. That's how Man United are right at the moment. Yes, if you watch them, I used to sit there and watch Alex Iwobi, and I said he's all right. But Arsenal fans despise him.
Do you know what, though? If you played Luke Shaw, Martinez, Heaven... Dallo right back, right, and you played a double pivot with Casemiro and Kobbie Mainoo. Played Fernandes in a 10, and then you've got up front Sesko and Bruno and Kuna, and just say go play football, boys.
And what do you think we done against Burnley?
Oh?
And we drew 2-2.
What did you do?
We drew that was pretty much player for player. Maybe apart from I think it was Ugarte instead of Kobbie Mainoo to start.
You had 3
it
at
was
the back.
Exactly the same. No, it was 4 at the back.
What against?
No, Darren Fletcher.
Okay, against Burnley.
Yeah, we drew 2-2. We had 30 shots on goal and this and that. You don't take
Yeah. But do you know what? I get that. I do get that. Again, I watched the game against Burnley. I actually watched that game, and I'll be honest with you, it's a good game of football.
It was.
And that was the first time I watched Manchester United, apart from the Newcastle game, and I thought they're actually all right. I know they didn't get a result,
but that was
and I thought. I'll be honest. When I watched Sesko, I was like, "Did we buy the wrong guy here?"
Yeah. But look. It's really, really difficult as a Man United fan to see this now. And we've got an interim coming in now, and we don't know what's going to happen in the summer. Who they're going to go for? They're going to go for Ancelotti, Tuchel, Pochettino, Luis Enrique, Xabi Alonso.
Well, Tuchel's in the World Cup, isn't he? So
yeah, but then at the end of the World Cup. But they offered him the job. They offered him the job, what, a year or so ago?
Well, question for you, Frank. How did you feel when you heard that Oli could be coming back? What was your thoughts on that?
Look, again, I'm one of these guys that thought Oli done a very underrated job at Man United. All I was hearing is people telling me that Man United are in a false position, that Man United need a moment of brilliance, that Man United need, the football. I mean, you listen to Harry Maguire says, I felt most organised under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because it wasn't just him, it was Kieran McKenna, who's a top young manager. Darren Fletcher was there as well, Michael Carrick, who's going to be coming in now as well. They were supporting him.
Can I just ask you a question? That young lad against Brighton who got sent off, that second
Shea Lacey.
What was he playing at?
What do you mean?
What was that about?
What, throwing the ball down?
Oh,
yeah, I agree. No, I agree. I'm not going to hammer the kid because he's only 18. It was only his second appearance.
You're playing for Manchester United. You've been handed. Obviously he's worked his socks off to be in the Manchester United first team. You've had your second appearance in a cup game against Brighton. And I'll tell you what, when I saw that, are you that thick and that stupid that you're going to act like... No, do you know what? He needs... I'm not saying lambasting. I'm not saying lambasting the poor lad.
Kid, man. He's a kid. I mean, you've only got to look at what Wayne Rooney was doing at that age and other David Beckham was doing at that age. And
what, is he like Wayne Rooney?
When you're 18, he's a Scouser. He's a Scouser.
No, I said he's that good, and you went, he's a Scouser.
Yeah, he's a Scouser.
Does that mean he's a good football
player?
No,
but he just said he's tough. He's on it.
He's tough. Yeah, he's about it. He's not going to take nothing, and he's passionate, and he lets his passion show, and you know what I mean. And I like that, but he was wrong. I mean, there was a lot of United fans saying, "Oh, we shouldn't have been sent." I was like, "No. It's a second yellow card because if he stays, of course it is. If he stays on the pitch." And he goes and gets a goal or an assist, and we come back and win the game or draw the game and whatever and go through.
Was it? It was a tackle, and then he threw the ball.
It was a tackle. No, the first one was a tackle. He caught the player, so the referee gave me a yellow card. Bit harsh for that one, but it's a yellow card, arguably.
No, but then when
but then the second one, he's gone. he's backed into the defender's trying to back in, and the defender's dived on the floor, and as he's dived on the floor, the ball's gone with him. So he's kind of played the ball out with his chest while he's on the floor. So then he's picked up the ball, take the throw in, Shane Lacey, and then they've given it the other way. So then he just slammed the ball down. Can't do that. And he will learn from that. And you know what? I'd rather he does it now at 17, 18, or 18, 19 when he's really young than in a couple more years in a. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, but I'm not being funny. You're 10 men. You're out the FA Cup. You're not going to win the Premier League.
Let's be real, Marty. We won't win in the FA Cup this season.
What?
We won't win.
Hang on, whoa.
There's too many teams in there that would have won the FA Cup.
That is exactly everything that's wrong with it. Palace won it last year, right? Do you think you'll remember this game? Do you remember when Coventry? You remember when you played Coventry? They were 3-0 down after 65 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Do you reckon they thought that? Them Coventry fans were singing their heart out, and they were going. They were like, we can still win this game. Then one goal, they go score one goal. Then they score another one. Then they level it. And do you know what? They nearly won it, mate. What Manchester United? You're talking Manchester United couldn't have won the FA Cup.
I feel like if City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, all these Villa take this cup very seriously. We don't have the quality.
You
to
just
beat them,
spent 210 million on your front line.
Yeah, but our defense isn't good enough. Our midfield's not
What?
good enough.
You have got a good defense.
You're building backwards.
No.
You have got a good.
You could argue that our goalkeeper's still young. He's getting there.
Mate,
but
what was he doing?
He's a decent goalkeeper.
What was he doing?
With what?
That goal, man. You threw it straight at Danny Welbeck.
Oh
no, sorry, you weren't a goal.
Yeah.
What was it? That was
that was
mate.
bad.
I was like,
it happens.
you had flashes of thought Onana was still in goal.
Yeah, but he recovered quickly from it. To be
fair,
he did. He made the save.
Yeah, that was touch and go. But no, do you know what? That's when you said that. Oh well, we're not going to win the FA, mate. That's
how I feel.
That's a perfect opportunity for you guys to win silverware this season.
Agree.
And do you know what? You've won it 13 times. We've won it 14.
Yeah.
You could have evened the scores, man. We own that cup. We're the holders, man.
Listen, I've got. At the moment, I've got zero hope in my club. I mean, you look at the Europa League final. I think that killed the last bit of hope of us winning the trophy for me anytime soon. We went out in the League Cup silly. Yeah, that's how I feel at the moment. Unless we start winning some games consistently.
But you know what, Frank? This is the thing, right? I don't feel that. I feel that you could have kicked on and gone and. Listen, Palace won it last year.
Yeah, but Palace were a very good team last year, Marty. Very good team.
They only sold Eze.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but you had Eze, you had Munich.
Mate,
Eze in Palace is different to the Eze we're seeing at Arsenal.
They just got knocked out by Macclesfield.
Palace knew exactly what they're doing, and Palace can go and play against a team like Arsenal or I'm talking about last season. Arsenal, Liverpool, City, soak up the pressure, hit them on the counter very, very well. And that's exactly what they've done. That's how they won a Community Shield as well. We're not Palace of last season are much more organised than Man United were last season.
Yeah, but you've had some games. I mean, listen, that game with us at Old Trafford, that was close at the beginning of the season.
And what happened?
And you were. Listen, we got away with it, didn't we?
Yeah, we lost the game.
We're gonna wrap this up, guys.
Yeah, sorry.
Time is of the essence.
Yeah.
And
he just wants to go to bed, doesn't he? Look,
look, he's falling asleep in the middle of the podcast.
I can't be. I'm done. My eyes are like.
Check it out.
Yeah, go on.
Go on.
Go and take a nap.
Right, guys, I promise you.
Silky bed sheets.
Do you know
now you can check it out.
That's why Frank wants to wrap it up so quick. He's like, mate, he's in his head.
I've got to wait at home.
I want to
get
home.
I nearly said it before, but I said it without it. Sorry, go on, wrap it up there, bro.
You sure?
I'm done today, man. Sorry, guys, man. I'm just sparing.
I'm professional.
Yeah.
Where do we get him from? Where do we get him? Where do you can't get the staff, mate?
It's got
to his head, mate. He's rolling around in Dubai with Rio Third
you can see it in my eyes.
And Simon Squibb and all of that, giving it all the potatoes, giving it all that. Yeah,
he's
changed, man.
Paparazzi.
He's changed.
It was as well,
I never
wasn't
changed, huh? No,
it was
crazy. But yeah, I'll never change.
It's changed, man. It's changed.
I never
Game's
changed
gone, mate.
Pod's
gone, mate. Pod's gone.
The pod's gone.
Finished, mate. Game over. On the bench, mate, in the changing room. Do you know what I mean?
We need to wrap it up, guys, because bless Rue, he's waiting for us. But yeah, guys, that was the podcast. Really funky, weird, strange, funny podcast. I think it's safe to say. But
Silky.
Thank you for all your support, your likes, your comments, your shares, for subscribing. Please continue to do so. Your support helps us keep on growing, and that's exactly what we want to do. So hopefully we'll be putting out many, many, many more podcasts out and a lot more content for you in the coming weeks, months, and God willing, years.
Comment Silky for some bed sheets.
Oh my God! Comment.